Hey guys, after playing Guild Wars 2 for a couple of months now, I've actually thought of a couple of features I've seen in other MMOs that I thought would be really neat in Guild Wars 2. And I'd also like to talk about how we could try to implement them, how they could help with the economy, and how they could promote Guild versus Guild and guild halls even more. So, stay tuned. Are there two things that Guild Wars 2 could benefit from in Zan's perspective? And do they matter? Let's find out. The first thing that we all know that Guild Wars 2 is missing is promotion! I mean, why can't they promote, like, Raid Shadow Legends does? Did you see that dragon? All jokes aside, I was actually really impressed with the cinematics and the graphics for Raid Shadow Legends. I was one of those people who got YouTube Premium so that I couldn't see the ads anymore. I just didn't want to. That was before I played the game, and too bad this ad is integrated into this video. Either way, I love how it reminds me of an old school RPG, and I actually miss turn-based content. It's one of my favorite ways to play. Final Fantasy VII to anyone? Well, I guess that was action turn-based, active turn-based. Regardless, it's so much fun, and if you really don't feel like playing at all, you can literally download the game. It's free, by the way. There will be a download link in the description. Check out all of their 11 new characters, all of the new updates that come out, and there's a little button on the screen that is an autoplay. You can literally auto through all of your actions and then just dominate. There's PvE and PvP, and the mapping system is really gorgeous. You can purchase things outside of the game if you want to, but honestly, I tried giving this game a try probably a couple of months ago, and I had people even in stream say, "Oh, I would absolutely love to have a guild with you." I didn't realize how much it would take to actually form one, so I never did, but I actually did enjoy the gameplay. Anyway, back to the other things that Guild Wars 2 needs. The first thing that I would absolutely love to see in Guild Wars 2, since fashion is such a big deal and the dye menus are so amazing, would be mannequins. Now, I know this sounds weird, but there are mannequins in Final Fantasy XIV, and they actually sell for quite a bit on the market board, which is like the auction house or the Black Lion Trading Company. And essentially, you can have them in your own house or your FC house, because your FC is like your guild, so you can have a guild house and your own as well, or even an apartment. And you can set up these mannequins and you can put different outfits on them, and they can also be dyed as well. And I would absolutely love to see that in Guild Wars 2, even if it was just in your own place in your guild hall. They could even put it on the store, have certain outfits for gems, or certain dyes for gems, or certain types of mannequins for gems. Like, let's say you want a mannequin that better fits a char instead of just like a human stature. I think that would be really cool. And you could set up all of your favorite outfits or mix and match and show off things that you might not necessarily be able to wear on your character all the time. Because sure, there's a really great menu, HUD, template, whatever you want to call it, to swap outfits for fashion. But wouldn't it be cool to have them all on display? This was actually perfect because I hadn't logged into the game in a while, and I forgot that you could put outfits that you can get anywhere in game, from dungeons or hunts or from the market board or pretty much anywhere, and you can put them on little vendors that you can have in your house or guild house as well, which is really neat. And for those of you who didn't know, I was able to get a lot of footage from the FC house, which is like a guild in Guild Wars 2. And so you have an actual house with a yard, rather than having this whole area that you've essentially conquered or been rebuilding. And you can have apartments in those, which are actually separate from little houses that each players can have themselves, which brings me to my next topic, housing. I would absolutely love, and I do love the way the guild hall can be overtaken in Guild Wars 2, and there are so many areas that you could just make your own in the guild hall. There's so many nooks and crannies. We actually got Lost Precipice, and there were so many little like places that already had a fireplace or whatever, and you can put trophies and things in there, and there's some housing items. But pretty much every single thing that drops in Final Fantasy XIV is either outfits or stuff for your home. And to put it mildly, on the market board, which is like the Black Lion Trading Company, in Final Fantasy XIV, you can get housing items for millions of gil, comparable to gold, that are just like this 5% drop from somewhere. One of the biggest ones at one point was the Dawn Trellis that you got in Dawn Mag. And, sorry, Eddie keeps hitting my light and I keep trying to fix it. But you get it in Dawn Mag, and it's this big trellis with all of these beautiful flowers on them that you can have bloom, and it's a brilliant color. It's like bioluminescent as well, and you can put it anywhere outside your house. So things like that, and I know there are some trophies, but just to be able to put those in your own house or have instance housing in the guild hall, like you get at some point to a certain level, and you can fill like an area that has a bunch of little caves in the wall with instanced housing, and people could have their own apartments rather than just designating certain areas. I don't know if it'll happen, probably not, but I think it would be cool because it's one of the things that I've always enjoyed from Final Fantasy XIV, and I definitely think that Guild Wars 2 could benefit from these things, especially if it wants to be the MMO in 2021 with End of Dragons. So, you guys are still watching. Thank you so much. If you like the content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm actually going to be doing a Patreon-only YouTube series as well. Not YouTube series, Patreon-only video series. And I'm not exactly sure what I want to do on it yet, but it'd be 2 to 3 videos a month that I won't post anywhere except Patreon. And if you want to become a patron, there's a link down below. It's only $3 a month for the lowest tier, so it would really help me out because I do this full time and I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't tried Guild Wars 2 or are looking to get back into it, I'm now officially an ArenaNet partner, and it would be amazing if you could click on the link down below to download and try out the game. It's free for you. Complete base game is free, and it actually does support me thanks to ArenaNet and NCSoft. So it would mean a lot. And anyway, I'll see you guys at the next one.